Hey bro, how much have you studied so far?
For what?
The economy exam tomorrow.
What? That is tomorrow?
Yeah, how... Wait, did you not study?
No, I thought it was next week. What do we even have to study? Holy. It just keeps on going.
I also didn't study.
What? You aren't even in my class. Look, man, I know you think I'm not in your class, but the truth is, I've been completing my test before you have even started them. How?
I'm glad you asked, bro. Now, I know what you're thinking. A 1% student? How? Is this a hard system? How can you even trust me? Well, you see, back in the day, I flunked a lot of tests, especially the history tests. I know that might trigger some people, but history was always my least favorite subject. I was always so bored during class, and even when I would study for like 4 hours for one test, I would still get like an E or D on the test. And so eventually I just gave up on history and just accepted like the E's and D's, whatever. I was just so bored with these facts, these historical facts, and I always had to like swallow them and push them down my throat. But then I discovered like this one technique or just one system to learn fast. And then on history, I got straight A's. And even my teacher, he said I was the only student he has ever seen in his life that got from a E student to an A student in history. He has never seen that before. And you know, I'll take it, I mean, pretty cool compliment. And you might just say, oh yeah, because I was just studying more. I was actually studying less. I was studying basically nothing. On my graduation year of school, I've literally, the most I've ever studied was 1 hour for one test. That's the most I have ever studied in the whole year for one test. And still, in this graduation note, there is nothing worse than 1 C. And I just got 1 C. Everything else is straight A's and a few B's. But it's not just that. I have also used the same technique to learn many other skills. For example, I can solve a Rubik's Cube in less than 30 seconds. I can draw pretty well. I know it's like mostly just Naruto because I just loved that show as a kid. But, you know, I can do a handstand. Even with a push-up, a handstand push-up. I can do a tornado kick, I guess. And in my school we had like these 10-minute keyboard writing competitions. And one time I got first place in all of Bavaria. And I was invited into a different city with my IT teacher, by the way. And it was just so funny because he has never had a student who won that before. And we went to this like huge school, and then there were also other students who congratulated me, and I basically got this like this certificate of my performance, or like, you know. And I also got $50, so there's that. And a year later, we got invited into a keyboard competition in all of Germany. So not just Bavaria, in Germany as a whole. And even my teacher then said, yeah, please don't win again. I don't want to travel to another city again because you won. And, well, guess who won? I know you probably can't read that because it's all in German. But the big words here is this word. This is my name. And then here you can read how fast I typed or something. And so I think this is pretty cool because I didn't like focus on typing that fast or train to be like this winner. It was just almost naturally. And there's a lot more that I have learned with this technique, especially in video games. But we're not gonna talk about that. So I can speedrun Minecraft in 30 minutes. I can do a flip reset, musty flick, double tap in Rocket League. I can do this cool build stuff in Fortnite. Oh boy. I can cap throw, ground pound roll, cap bounce, homing cap throw, rainbow spin, cap throw, dive, gap bounce, cap throw, and dive to the land of this cliff in Super Mario Odyssey. Yeah, I don't mind all that. And also, these are just like my computer games. Don't even get me started on my VR games. And usually I don't really like to talk about my video game days, but I have worked like pretty hard to learn these, let's say, skills. And if I can use them for credibility, why not? So now what you are really here for. I will split this video into 3 tips that have actually helped me like a lot with studying, with learning, and how you can achieve the same thing. So let's start with the first tip. I used to be really stressed in school and I would always flunk my tests. I would study a lot. Honestly, I would study like a whole lot. But nothing was just going into my brain. Every single word the teacher said went in the one ear and then out the other. And I could never just focus on sitting there and just studying. I could never do that, and it was so hard to just listen to the teacher and then get good grades. Even on tests, like during tests, my mind would always think about different topics and then focusing on the test itself was always so extremely hard. But then when I went on this self-improvement path, I was automatically introduced to meditation. And so I meditated a little bit. And everyone said it gives such amazing benefits. It helps you stay focused. It's just training for your own brain. And so I started doing that, and more and more and more. And suddenly, without me even noticing it, during tests, my mind would not wander. And I was even looking at the questions. And I noticed that I could remember those exact lessons that the teacher has spoke about. And so even though I didn't even study that much, because I could just remember everything quickly, I looked at the page and read through it. Then in my head I would think about what do I remember, and it was actually really close to the whole page. And so I didn't need to study that much because my brain was already trained to be able to sit down, work, have no thoughts, and I'm just able to be in the moment and focus. And it's incredible how much focus I now have. Back in the day I would say it's some witchcraft or something, you know, it's like not really possible. And I would never have thought like meditation helping me? Nah, it doesn't work, bro. There's just some conspiracy theory. It does work, man. And it's this one thing that gave me the power to get better grades, but do less work. And for the second tip, there was this one student in my class, let me just call him Jack. And Jack thought way too much about tests. And I usually got like the same results as he did. No offense, Jack. But he was studying like 10 times more than I did. We used to go on calls, speak about life, and whenever a test was like tomorrow, I would usually be the one who says, oh yeah, I'll just look at it like once or twice. And he say, what, you just look at it once or twice? And he's like studying for like 5 hours straight, bro. And then we were doing the test and he was so nervous and he thought about it a lot. Well, I'm just here like chilling on the test like it's nothing. And at the end of the day, I got a B. And he got like a B+ or something, so it's similar. But he studied so much more than I did. Also like on our final test, I think it was like this German test. It was like the final test, ooh, really dangerous and stuff, you know, really nerve-wracking. And something happened with the teacher and Jack. And Jack needed to, I don't know, borrow a pencil or something. And so my teacher gave him like a pencil, or maybe it was a paper, it doesn't matter. And then when Jack gave my teacher the pencil or the paper back, he was literally giving it back like this. And my teacher even called him out like on the whole hallway. Jack, you're completely shaking, what the hell? And on this final exam, on the same exam, I'm in the back, completely chilling, I'm relaxed, and I'm like not even taking this seriously. And I've just realized I probably have such an easy time because of my mindset. Because I set the bar really high. And so these like normal tasks are easy for me. These normal tests, it's like a walk in a park. Because I'm thinking way higher than that. Because I also believe that I can achieve way higher than that. And he doesn't. He believes like, oh my god, I'm gonna flunk this test so much. And I'm thinking like, oh, it's gonna be easy. Sure, you don't wanna underestimate anything, fair enough. But overall, it's just how you visualize yourself. For me, I can't even take these tests seriously. In my mind, I'm thinking I wanna be a millionaire. I wanna help so many young men who are going to kill themselves. And I wanna give them a path, a true path of life. And you telling me some school test is gonna be harder than that? Exactly. Because I've already did like the David Goggins almost routine, like wake up at 4 a.m, work for 5 hours, meditate, do all that good stuff. And this is awesome, man. And so studying or tests is like not scary for me at all. If you do not even believe that you can easily like complete these tests, then you also won't. It's like a guy trying to make 10k, but he doesn't even believe he could ever get 10k. Think about an average person. Imagine you're like earning 2k a month. And then some guy says, oh yeah, I earn 10k a month. And he's like, wow, you earn 10k a month? I could never do that, nah, it's way too hard. But then the 10k guy thinks like, oh yeah, I think I could earn 1 million. And so the 2k guy will never even be close to 10k because he doesn't even believe like that. And the 10k guy says, oh, 10k is not even that much. I'm aiming for 1 million. And so even though they are probably both working hard, the one guy is working hard at his job, the other guy is working hard on his business, it doesn't matter. The beliefs and the mindset is what makes him, basically. So the lesson here is just aim higher. I always did this, for example, on English exams. I always said like, no, I don't want to get just an A. I want to get the full score. And so I might not have gotten the full score, but I did get an A easily. And while the other guys just say, oh, I want at least a B, they got a B, but not an A, even though they studied harder than me. And I said all of this with confidence. Because I believed I can. And if you believe at something, you're halfway there. And so the third thing is all about practicality. I usually just always got distracted, as I said before, when I was studying for my exams. And I was always like this. I was always distracted and I was never like productive. And sometimes I was like done way faster and sometimes I was like just done like 1%. It was always so weird and I was so unproductive all the time. And then when I got into self-improvement, I was automatically implementing like, oh yeah, wake up early, work hard, don't distract yourself while working. And I noticed as soon as I got on that path, the work that I did in a month back then, I can now do within 1 day, literally, and simple. And it's especially because we take too much breaks during work. And you might think like, oh no, I don't really take breaks. Checking your phone is a break. Seeing that one notification pop up is a break. Answering your parents because they called you or something is a break. And when you take this like one break, your whole flow just stops. And that could, honestly, this 1 second, you might think, oh, I'm just wasting like this 5 seconds of texting that guy back. These 5 seconds turn into like 10 minutes of wasted time. Because then you have to go back, okay, where was I? Oh yeah, there. Oh, but what was I even studying about that? Okay, let me just reread it and reread it. And then you're like out of the flow. And then you're also like rereading some sentences because you're just not in this kind of mode of studying. And then you're studying, oh, okay, there I was. And then you get a notification again. Oh, Bob just answered. Oh, let me just answer him. And then you're back, oh yeah, what was that again? And then you're literally wasting like hours and hours and hours. But you could be done in like 20 minutes. If you would just sit down and focus. And also this, when you're like, the athletes call it being in the zone. When you're in this zone, this like state of flow, no distractions, no thoughts, just focusing on a task completely. Where you're like so focused that you almost are the task. If you want to achieve that, the morning when you haven't eaten anything, you've just woken up and are rested, that's the time where you should study. Because I've always studied in the afternoon. I've always studied like at night time before I went to bed. And this was so dumb. I could have saved myself so many hours if I would have just done my task in the morning. Because then I would have been in a flow. And then at night I'm digesting all that food. And I'm reading, I'm tired. I'm not energized at all. I've already done all my tasks. I have 0 brain points left. And now I'm trying to study. Of course I'm not good at studying then. So even if you have to get up early, get up even earlier than that and study a little bit. And I promise you this will change your life. Seriously. If you just get up in the morning, not even while studying, but also any task like working, or maybe it's learning a specific skill. It doesn't matter. In the morning, when you're not digesting any food, that's when you work the best. And some people might say, oh yeah, but you need a little bit of energy to fuel you for the day and to get this task done. You can try that out yourself. You can go read a book in the morning when you haven't eaten anything, and then take a bowl of like oats with you. And then eat the oats a little bit, and then suddenly you're just realizing you have to reread some sentences a little bit because you're not focused anymore. So, meditate, focus on your beliefs. What do you believe at? And set the bar high. Grow like a better, bigger mindset. And visualize yourself being like the man that you should be. The man that easily handles the exam, the new skill, whatever. And last thing, wake up in the morning. If best, just do the hard work when you wake up. Don't take any breaks or get distracted by social media or that. I promise you, if you just focus on the task at hand, it will be so much easier and you will be done so much faster. And don't digest any food. So this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win. And maybe you're in a rut. You're maybe not even feeling that good. You want to make a comeback in your life. Then click this video right here. In this video I explain how you can make the greatest comeback of your life to get out of that rut and to destroy your evil addictions. Also on this channel I'm not here to be a little motivator. I'm here to change lives. So if you want to be a part of this movement of strong young men, then subscribe right now and take care, bro.